Hey guys, today is our season finale, finishing up our 2014 season.
And we're going to be talking about Revenge of the Nerds.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Nathan.
And we are Notes and Nerds. Alright guys, so as we said, this is our season finale of our 2014 Notes and Nerds.
Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
The only reason why we're taking a season finale and we're not going to be coming back until March is because, well, here in Kansas, the weather for winter can be rather unpredictable and pretty crappy. Plus, we want to restructure some of the format of how the show's been going. You know, we want to go back to our old ways from season 1 and kind of get away from the list attitude that we've had for this past season. You know, but of course, you guys, the fans, all 3 of you, 4 of you, how many ever we are at now, please let us know how you feel about the formats that we've been using versus the formats that we used to use. We want to make shows that you guys like watching. You know, we're all good. We don't care. It's all good. But in today's episode, we're talking about the classic
Revenge of the Nerds.
From the 80s. I mean, come on. I mean, those were some awesome films. I mean, those guys have...
I don't know why people call me Booger.
Ew. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. Nathan, tell us a little bit about the franchise.
Okay, well, you know, they kicked it off with the movie, you know, with Lewis and Gilbert. And, you know, they went to a college where, you know, they got picked on by a bunch of jocks.
No way. Nerds getting picked on by jocks.
That don't happen in the real world now.
Obviously pure fiction.
Yeah. Now nerds just beat up the jocks, but... No, the alpha betas would bully them and do all kinds of mean pranks, but in the end, they got even. Really even.
The first film started in 1984, an obvious American comedy. In a way, it was a bit exploitive of the nerd culture. I mean, it was actually very stereotypical in the sense of how the nerds were portrayed. You know, white shirts, ties, broken glasses, slick back hair, you know, and pocket protectors and giant freaking scientific calculators. And they all talked kind of nasally and weird, and they were all socially awkward.
But these also had a little bit of a dark side too, because they could be just as mischievous as the jocks. With panty raids and sneaking in cameras to watch the girls change, and at the very end where they're doing the pies and there's nude photos at the bottom of the pies that are just actually filled with whipped cream.
Now the thing is, the movie franchise, they played on the stereotypes and a little exploitive of the social status of nerds, but at the same time it was empowering to the nerds because in the end, like you said, they always came out on top. You know, they got picked on and ridiculed through the whole film, but it all culminated to the huge ending. I believe Curtis Armstrong was the actor, the big burly guy in the first film.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I believe he passed away. You know, he was an excellent character actor back in the day. I mean, I remember him in Johnny Cage, not Johnny Cage, who's listening to Mortal Kombat before shooting. Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, where he played Frank Dukes. Went to the Kumite, and Curtis Armstrong was an American fighter in that one as well.
Ah.
Yeah. I'll notate it later when I remember it, if I remember to look it up. Anyway, besides, that's the problem with Jean-Claude Van Damme movies from the 80s. They were all the same.
They're easy to forget.
Well, anyway, the franchise spawned a total of 4 films.
Yep.
The first one, and then of course 3 sequels.
Yep, you have Revenge of the Nerds, Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise, Revenge of the Nerds 3, The Next Generation, Revenge of the Nerds 4, Nerds in Love.
And this was a series that was just aching to have a TV series. Unfortunately, the unaired pilot was based on the movies. It was considered pretty much a condensed version of the movie.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
There was one plus though. The actor that played Booger, which I can't think of his name, but he also does the voice of Michelangelo in the movies of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Actually, if I'm going to stand corrected on this, and I think that was Curtis Armstrong. Without looking up on IMDb.com, I think that was Curtis Armstrong. He's also playing Metatron on Supernatural,
Nice.
which, yeah, actually he's dead now.
Who?
Metatron.
Oh, I was like, not the guy that does the voice of Michelangelo.
No. But anyway,
It did. And it was never aired, but there was a pilot made, but it didn't get anywhere, unfortunately. In 2012, there was a show hosted by Robert.
There's my correction information right there. Curtis Armstrong was Booger.
Yeah. By the guy that played Lewis, and it was a game show called King of the Nerds.
That's actually still on the air. It went from, let's see here, TBS did the first season. Spike TV picked up the subsequent seasons. It's actually a fairly popular show, but I think again, this is a reality-based game show that really plays off of the stereotypes of nerds. I mean, I've seen the first season, and some of these people weren't necessarily nerds, but more in the line of just goobers.
Goobers. Or nerdish.
No. Nerdish is nerdish. Nerd is nerd. Goober is just goober. Some of them were kind of gooberish. So yeah, now I understand that there was supposed to be a remake.
Yeah, and that was slated for release in 2007. The first project was nearly created by Fox Atomic, but it was canceled in November 2006, 2 weeks after filming.
This is the thing with this film franchise. This was a very specific 80s style film. Like I said earlier, it was it played off the stereotypes of nerds. It was an exploitive type film. It was dumb comedy. I mean, very classic 70s, 80s style comedy.
It was good for the genre, but some remakes you just can't bring it forward and make it come out correctly. And I think apparently Revenge of the Nerds is one of them. I'm going to say Notes of Nerds.
Well, the other thing with Revenge of the Nerds is that we live in a very PC world. You know, everything's politically correct. We can't have films where, you know, all the characters fit into a very snug, perfect little stereotype. I mean, nowadays, the jocks can be just as big of a nerd as the nerds can be just as big of a jock.
Nerds!
I mean, it's just, and there's a lot of sex and stuff, and the pot use. I mean, it was one of those films that if they tried to make it today, they would want to have a big budget. They'd have all the wrong actors, you know they would. And on top of that, you know, the essence, the soul of the franchise would just be completely lost.
Yeah. But if it wasn't for that movie, we wouldn't have a lot of the cool movies we have, or the cool TV shows we have today. And I'm going to say Big Bang Theory.
Possibly you can go with that, because Big Bang Theory, their characters really kind of fit into a PG style version of the nerds from the Revenge of the Nerds franchise. You know, you got the story.
Penny.
I mean, you look at all the 80s and 90s comedy stuff, and even like the Big Bang Theory, each nerd, you got the sex hound, you've got the one who's awkward, you've got the one who's actually fairly socially normal, and then you've got the one who is so eccentric you think he's a little mentally off, but he really is just too smart for his own good.
Yeah.
There's always the one that has the weird laugh. There's the hot chick that always hangs out with them that you don't understand why. The only thing really missing from Big Bang Theory to really tie it all together is they're missing the big burly jock guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it. And even if they threw that in, it would really hurt the show and the dynamic. But yeah, I mean, for being a cult classic, one of the bad things about it is if you can find this franchise, this series of movies on DVD, or hopefully it'll come out on Blu-ray. I haven't heard anything. We haven't seen anything, but hopefully.
Yeah.
These were classics. I really highly recommend that if you can find them, watch them.
Yeah,
you haven't yet.
I mean, seriously, Revenge of the Nerds does have a huge underground following, and has for the longest time, just because it was funny. There's serious parts. I mean, great slapstick. I mean, what's not to like?
The bad thing is I watched these in the 80s. In the 80s, I was still a kid. Like 1984, I would have only been 8. So I didn't see it then, but I did see them later, like 86, 7, 8, 9, and then through the
I didn't get to watch the first movie till I was a teenager because it had naughty parts.
Having Cinemax and
Skinamax.
parents being in bed and being smart enough to know how to run everything in the house better than the parents.
The passcode is 0000.
No. The password is 1, 2, 3.
No, let me get
4, 5. You probably don't get it.
Yes, I get it.
He doesn't get it. Spaceballs.
I get it.
You didn't get it.
Yeah.
He didn't get it. It's okay. We'll forgive him. All right, guys. So that is pretty much wrapping it up right there with the Revenge of the Nerds talk. I mean, again, like I said, I can't emphasize.
Eventually, we were going to get to this. I mean, Dunks and Nerds. Why won't we talk about nerds?
Yeah. So next season, kind of give you guys a heads up. The plan is we're going to come back in March. The big thing is we're hoping to have ourselves situated to cover the Kansas City Comic-Con presented by Planet Comic-Con. We're excited. We don't know who's guests yet. We have that information hasn't been released, and it is always subject to change all the way up to the day before the event.
But make sure you come.
If you are living in the Kansas City area, within the tri-state area, around it, go, be there. And hey, check us out. We'll be walking around with Notes and Nerd shirts, taking pictures, videos, and if you want to be your picture taken, if you're a cosplayer, let us know. We'll definitely be there. But like I said, the plan is we're going to be doing live. We're not necessarily. We possibly could be doing live video through Google Hangouts. We're definitely going to be taking pictures. We're going to be covering the event as far as like who's the guest.
Just overall, a lot of coverage.
Rumors, speculation.
Yep.
Things that might be announced for upcoming movies and stuff.
And that will be season 3, episode 1. Can't wait.
I know, I can't either because I'm really looking forward. I didn't get to go to last year's Comic-Con because of my work schedule, but this year I have it all situated. We are going. So yeah, I mean, keep tuned, stay tuned with us. You'll see what's going on. We'll be making announcements every so often as it gets closer.
Always check our pages.
And don't worry, just because we're doing a season finale for this for our show every week, what we will be doing is the occasional. We got some plans for the next 6 months while we're waiting for season 3.
We're gonna throw some things out there. We might do some live stuff.
We also want to bring back our skits.
Yeah.
The skits that we did.
That's something we're going to be working on our time off, our spoofs or segments, the quirky stuff that you guys like. We're definitely going to work on that a lot. And some
live shows through Google Hangouts again. Now, those aren't going to be edited and made pretty like these episodes are, but the emphasis is on being live. We'd love to have you guys, the viewers, be a part of it. Now, we will make announcements of when those episodes will start. I'm really kind of hoping that we can do a live show of while The Walking Dead premieres. Yeah. This way, we're not going to be able to show anything of what's happening on the TV show, obviously.
But we'll definitely be talking about it.
But we want to be able to do a live broadcast so we can all discuss what's going on as it happens. Predictions. And anybody who's read the comic books, shh, because I know what happens.
Well, so do I. I've been reading.
I just got done reading Walking Dead up to the point when basically it's a bit like a big calm in the storm kind of thing. A lot of turmoil has ended, but we're now into the new segment. The new story arc is what basically is happening now for me. Basically, I'm about 3 months behind right now. That's it. I'm pretty well caught up. So I know what's going to be happening with the season premiere for the most part. I know it's going to be happening shortly thereafter, and pretty much all the way through this season. And there's so many things I want to say, but I can't, because he's not ready. I don't think you know what's going to happen with a couple big characters.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I've been reading.
The spoilers that I could give away. But anyway,
But we're not going to do that.
No.
You guys got to watch it and see it for yourself.
Exactly. Now, like I said, this season's over, but we are going to still be posting to the website like usual. You know, there's going to be our daily posts.
Make sure you read the blogs. Make sure you check stuff out. If you have any comments, please comment. If there's,
Interact with us.
if there's something you want us to write a blog about, let us know. We'll write one. If there's a certain topic, let us know. We'll write it.
Yeah.
We're all about reacting with the bands.
Yeah. So with that, guys. All right, guys, and that concludes our season finale for 2014.
But we will be back March for season 3.
Whew. We'll be kicking that off with the Kansas City Comic-Con.
Boom!
And you know what, guys? Don't fret. Like we said earlier, we got a lot going on for the next 6 months up to our season premiere. And you can keep track of that by going to our website at notesandnerds.com, where you can find links to everything Notes and Nerds related, such as our Patreon page to help fund us, and our shop, where you can buy stuff.
And don't forget to check us out on Google, Facebook, and Twitter.
Exactly. So with that, guys, kumbaya, my little toads. Kumbaya.